Recently, the real estate sector has experienced a dramatic shift, stirring quite a buzz. Current statistics indicate a notable 45% decline in investor purchases in the last year, marking the largest decrease since the 2008 crisis. Cities such as Charlotte have seen a significant 60% fall, and Atlanta a 64% drop. Las Vegas has been especially hard hit, with a remarkable 65% decrease, sinking below the levels observed in 2017. This downturn is substantial and has far-reaching effects. However, this turn of events is great news for potential homebuyers who now find themselves up against less competition from big Wall Street investors like BlackRock, Blackstone, Invitation Homes, and Progress Residential, among others. This change isn't solely due to the circumstances of 2023. It's a result of rising interest rates, an increase in vacant rentals, and a dip in rental prices in certain areas, which has left investors in a state of confusion. The latest data from Apartment List indicates that rent across the United States has fallen by 1.2% year over year. In fact, 72 out of the top 100 cities have experienced a drop in rent over the last year. This significant shift benefits renters, allowing them to save more money. This transformation in the real estate market is reshaping the experience for numerous Americans. Investors are revising their approaches, evening out the playing field. Homebuyers now stand a better chance of securing their desired homes with considerably less competition than before. This considerable change in the real estate landscape could have lasting impacts on the market. With rents decreasing and investor purchases dwindling, 2023 marks the beginning of a new phase in real estate. Several factors contribute to this change. The hike in interest rates is making investment less attractive. An upsurge in empty rental properties and reduced rents in some regions are making investments less profitable. This shift is advantageous for renters, offering them more choices and potentially reduced rental costs. Data clearly shows that the real estate environment is rapidly evolving, favoring both homebuyers and renters alike. The most drastic reduction in rent is severely affecting Oakland, California. A quick glance at Zillow's rental market in the area shows that numerous investors are currently struggling. It's quite a scene. For instance, if you head south of Nashville, you'll come across a multitude of vacant homes. In some neighborhoods, nearly a third of the houses are unoccupied. Large landlords like Progress Residential, a Wall Street giant in the rental sector, are playing with rental rates. They initially hike the rent by 40%, then cut it by 30%, slightly increase it by 1%, and then bump it up by 0.2%, all in efforts to secure tenants. However, despite these maneuvers, some houses remain unlisted for 3 to 4 months. It's surprising to see how long a house can remain on the market unsold. Intriguingly, prices start to fall sometimes by $300, $400, or even $500, making them affordable for the average renter. This trend reflects the current state of the rental market. However, we must not ignore the ongoing crisis of renter affordability. Many landlords are currently not buying houses because a majority of renters can't afford them. This situation poses challenges for both sides and is causing significant disruptions in the real estate industry. The declining rents in cities like Oakland and Nashville are mere examples of a broader issue affecting many urban areas across the country. And mortgage rates have climbed to 8%, reaching their highest point in the last 30 years. This situation isn't a future prediction, it's happening right now. Numerous aspiring homeowners find themselves in a tough spot, considering giving up on their dream of owning a home. This is a harsh reality check. A report from Redfin highlights this trend, showing a startling 15.7% surge in contract cancellations in recent times. This development is hitting the housing market hard. The issue of soaring mortgage rates is particularly concerning for real estate investors. Here's the current scenario. The 30-year fixed mortgage rate has reached an all-time high of 7%, far exceeding the income yield or cap rate typically received from rental properties. Simply put, real estate investors who are currently buying properties with loans are effectively incurring losses on their investments. This situation is a financial conundrum comparable to purchasing an item for $110 and selling it for $5. Financially, it's illogical. The rise in interest rates has drastically affected the profits of real estate investors. The majority of Wall Street buyers rely on loans to fund their property acquisitions, and these increased interest rates are immediately eating into their profits from rental properties. The only solution for these investors to see a profit increase is for cap rates to rise. Cap rates, the return on investment, must go up to counteract the high interest rates. However, there's a complication. Cap rates can only escalate if rental prices increase or property values decrease. At present, rental rates are not escalating. Consequently, the most straightforward solution is a reduction in property values. This situation is problematic for investors, as a decline in property values isn't their ideal outcome. It demonstrates the close relationship between the real estate market, interest rates, and rental income. When interest rates skyrocket and rental income remains static, it leads to dwindling profits, forcing investors to seek the best strategies to survive this turbulence. It's likely that the Fed might alter their approach and reduce interest rates, potentially drawing more investor buyers back into the real estate market. It's highly probable that the Fed will take this action eventually, as they frequently modify rates to boost economic activity. However, the issue is that the Fed typically doesn't make such changes until the economy suffers significantly. By that time, factors like vacancy rates will have increased and the unemployment rate will have escalated. Current predictions in betting markets suggest that the earliest we could expect a rate reduction is in May 2024. That's a considerable wait. This situation presents a substantial challenge for real estate investors and the housing market in general. They are caught in a waiting game, anticipating the Fed's intervention, yet the timing remains uncertain. So, investors are confronting the harsh reality that they might have to withstand a difficult market for an extended period, sparking serious concerns within the real estate community. The future of the housing market is uncertain, posing challenges for both buyers and sellers. Major Wall Street real estate investors have been holding onto their properties for an extended period, contributing to a shortage of available housing on the market. This scenario is perplexing, as it appears that these investors have been accumulating houses. The critical question is, when will they begin selling? It's reasonable to assume that as more houses remain vacant and expenses like taxes, insurance, and mortgage payments mount up, more investors will feel pressured to sell. The reality is that maintaining a property is expensive, and when it's not generating rental income, it can become a financial liability. Hence, it's quite likely that we'll see an increase in investors choosing to divest their properties in the near future. This is especially true in a market like Nashville, where investor purchases have decreased by over 50% in the last year, and the inventory of available properties has risen significantly. With fewer buyers in the market and a surplus of houses for sale, this can lead to a decrease in property prices. Such a scenario could prompt numerous investors to reevaluate their holdings. They might decide it's time to minimize their losses and offload their properties while they can still obtain a fair price. In a city like Nashville, where the market dynamics are shifting, it's entirely plausible that we'll witness a wave of real estate investors selling off their properties in the upcoming months. So in conclusion, the decision by significant Wall Street real estate investors to start offloading their properties will have a profound impact on the housing market. As more houses stay vacant and the costs of ownership continue to escalate, the financial motivation for investors to sell their properties will grow. This situation could lead to a shift in the real estate landscape, potentially offering new opportunities for buyers and affecting property prices. While it's uncertain exactly when these investors will choose to sell, it's a development worth monitoring for anyone interested in the real estate market. As we navigate the evolving landscape of the real estate market, it's vital to recognize that challenges often pave the way for new opportunities. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more informative updates on investment.